What's up, everybody? Welcome to another, Hex Guild episode. Welcome. I'm Ecobuildr, your host, and hopefully I'll have a Finbear hopping around somewhere, a Marcus hopping around somewhere. Sorry I'm late. Hexico is a wonderful place to be right now. Has anybody checked out the tweet that Whales Only did this morning about trusting stable coins? I would like for somebody to mention trusting or not trusting stable coins as we go into this winter. Woo! All right, so let's see. We're talking about the Treasury, belly treasure. Banished from the Treasury. Somebody's going to be banished from the Treasury if they don't hurry up and get me a Ethereum address. Hint, hint, Finbear, inviting freedom, multiple other people. Finbear, get up here so I'm not just sucking air. So every once in a while, I get a little bit edgy and I do a video, and I did one of those recently on Hex Futures, my other YouTube channel, and I got that one a pat on the wrist. They took it down and they gave me a warning. They didn't give me a strike. I never have gotten a strike on YouTube, but it was because I didn't go with the guidelines of the CDC. I'm pretty sure that was it. So me saying that there was any sort of a plan with that agenda bug, I'm not allowed to. So that certain video is, I think, still up on Facebook and Twitter, but it was taken down on YouTube. So just FYI, guys, the New World Order, they've already got YouTube and Google figured out, or they're coming for you from Google. I hope everybody's well today. HOA, Red Squirrel, Belly Hex, Dirage. Welcome. What do y'all think should be in the news right now? We got our third birthday. Congratulations, everyone. 3 years. Hex has been running flawlessly, non-interrupted, and it is a place to store your value and grow your crypto. And get out there and figure out how to explain this to your neighbor. Maybe even write special post-it notes or handwritten messages that go so far with people. I've been sending out paper business cards to folks in the mail. And so every morning I wake up to people on Twitter saying thank you. So that's pretty cool. I don't have an example of, well, actually do have an example over there. But let me show you these aluminum cards that Philip Banks can run off for you. That's pretty slick. And so that directs everything to Richard Hart. And then this one, even though it's got SJ on the front, it still directs people to Richard Hart because of his audiobook. Both of those were my design, and I love them. Please tell me how I could make them better. What's up, Torrin? Finbear, you leave me hanging? Happy third birthday, everybody. We can't be better than what we are, as Richard says. We're just gonna, get our pulse chain and be happy on our way over there as well. Open fresh wallets and new seeds. So Finbear needs to eat his own medicine here. I haven't finalized the treasury because of out of energy or just haven't been motivated. But my goal was to have it before this stream to where we wouldn't even be able to talk about it. It would just be done check the latest schedule, the latest stats, and I'll post the image of the spreadsheet to where it's not editable, or you can do it in Photoshop, but that way we'll know everybody who has the HSI stakes. And then also if people want to back out of the custodians, then they could just pass it to somebody else and tell me, and I'll update the spreadsheet so that we'll know who's who, so that we can know who to blame. But I really don't foresee any issues because everybody in this group is really just a steady head. So I don't foresee any issues. I might cut Trap Gravity out of the beginning because he's kind of this guy who flies by the seat of his pants, and quite possibly whenever he told me that he was up for HSIs, he wasn't quite fully interested or engaged. I don't know, but I'll speak with him, and then I will add who is it? Markable Thoughts. I will add him to the schedule. And then if everything stays the same as it is right now, everybody who doesn't have a second stake HSI to look after, I'm going to give you a second one. So everybody should end up with 2 at the end, or just about, based on who actually came forward and gave me an ETH address. I do not care for you to have hardware wallet on this stuff. Instead, just 12 seed words is good enough for me, in my opinion, from the beginning. And I will gladly fess up to saying this later. You cut it, whatever. What else is going on in Hexico? We're kicking ass. Let me show you the wallpaper. Everybody, check out what Richard's doing on Twitter. He's guiding everybody back to his books. Let's see, how do I don't know how to get it. So here's the wallpaper. Nope. That's Finbear's child's artwork. Happy 3 years. Sweet. Sorry I'm late, guys. Down here in Texas, I'll have a meetup January 21st. Marcus is coming down from Wisconsin, and I'm going to advertise amongst the Texas folk, hey, there's a meetup, Georgetown, Texas, downtown. Call it a party, call it a meetup, whatever. I might even block off the front right here so that people understand that it's just a come and go situation. I've got restaurants, bars, sweet shops, toy shops, wineries. We've got everything for everybody to enjoy down here. So if you would just make your way down and meet other Hexicans, and let's just wait out this time period that till Pulse Chain comes. Something that Richard said in the Twitter space, I'm pretty sure that he did that like Wednesday, maybe. He did a Twitter space and he mentioned direct mail like 6 or 7, 8 times. And so he was really pounding on direct mail, but he was also lightly telling people on Twitter space that you're kind of like wasting your time. There's not too many people coming into the community through that. And I would argue that, like, yeah, there are people that were enticing to come into Hex through other Twitter communities. But they're not necessarily going to be Hexicans that are going to stake wealth for a time period. And they're not necessarily Hexicans that are going to like become diehard Hexicans. Instead, they've kind of like got one foot in and one foot out at the same time. And we've witnessed this with Hex is the Way. Hex is the Way did something, this blockchain beauty salon he participated with these other people. And the result was we gave them Hex, we gifted them Hex, and half of them sold it and none of them staked it. So like we have to point people towards our philosophy, our lifestyle, our moral way of doing without value for a time period. And we are able to trust that in the Hex contract. But these folks that are just staking just anywhere, they're, yeah. So, like, because we're poo-pooing all sorts of places to hold your value, but yet then we tell them to hold their value over here. So it's, I don't want to go back to saying it's the IQ test, because when you don't trust something, you don't trust something and you stay away. What's up, Facing? What's up, BitFiness? BitFinesse says it's a great way of getting nowhere, having feet in two places at once. Totally. What's up, SJ? SJ, I got some aluminum cards for you. Next time I see you, I got like 50 or more of these. Pretty sweet. Let's see. All these folks. Dang, it's hot. Been walking. Okay, so Finberry is not going to join me because he's got parental duties. If anybody would like to join me, there is a link in the chat. So back to what Richard was saying. Howdy, Torrin.
Howdy.
Back to what Richard was saying. Folks that are like just hanging out in Twitter Spaces, it might be that some of them are going to be predatory upon our community. They're waiting to impress you. They're waiting to give you a pitch. And also keep in mind, whenever it is that Pulse Chain becomes nearer and nearer and nearer, you're gonna hear people ramp up in their Hex appreciation. And then right at the last minute, whenever Pulse Chain launches, and there's going to be like their new project and their new team, and all of a sudden they'll be pitching to Hexicans. Just keep that in mind, that stuff's going to happen. And Richard said, like, there are interesting ways of blocking people that want to just take from your users. They want to engage with you in order to increase their rank. And I should probably go on Twitter and clean out quite a few people I follow. What's going on, Torrin?
Not a lot, man. I just wanted to support the channel. I was like, man, I don't even have anything to say, but that's probably a good thing. I'm just so happy to, I don't know. I guess I'm starting a channel kind of, and some collaborations. Yeah. So okay. I want to first and foremost, actually, I'm just going to be cutting up other Hex streamers content and putting it up there and learning the ropes.
You're going to compile it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm starting my first longer one is with like kind of a highlight for Thothschild.
Okay.
Partially for this awards. I'd really love to see him get some more votes for the awards coming up. And so it's been fun working with him because I really feel like he's, you know, very artistic and likes collaborating, you know, likes to I don't know. So it's been fun. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to work with some Hex streamers and do some stuff to help benefit their channel and then get my own thing going too.
So what do you think? What do you think in your first outcome is going to be? Like your first video? What do you think it's going to be like? you're not going to do a live stream. You're going to do pieces.
Yeah, generally, they're gonna be, cuts of other things, because especially with some of the streams, are so long, especially Thothschild's, but a lot of people's streams, there's a lot of great gold in them, and I'm probably gonna try and stay like on point with the most recent stuff that's coming out, but I definitely want to dig through old stuff. But I'm gonna try and get permission first for the most part, so that if somebody wants to collaborate a little bit on it and have some say in the edit and that kind of thing, then I'll do that too. So, but I can. It's so easy nowadays to just take clips right as you're watching something. So, and that way I can kind of do highlight reels basically.
Sweet. Welcome,
And then,
SJ.
Hello
yeah,
there.
Hey, what were you saying, Torrin? Sorry. About the
yeah, actually
highlights.
some people asked about lives, and I might do like, especially if it's a comedy or entertainment related reel, like that's kind of what thoughts are going to be, especially the first one is more about entertainment than education, but so we might do some, like, lives where we premiere some of those things, just like as a yeah, to cut out, to distill down a lot of the information that we have out there. So there'll be all kinds of different stuff, probably just to help highlight, whatever each streamer wants to do if I'm collaborating.
Hey, real quick, Torrin, are you the only Torrin? Are you Torrin Sonic Pulse on Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm thinking about dropping the Sonic Pulse thing. Like, I dropped it on YouTube first because it was just easier for people to tag me, and there wasn't really it's funny though, because on Telegram, and I think that's why on Telegram I've stuck with Sonic Pulse, is because there is just a Torrin on Telegram, and it's funny because
gotcha.
Thos actually tagged him the other day, and I think the account's basically abandoned. But it's funny because there's just one. The only info is one profile pic, which is like an oil painting of. To me, it immediately looks like the pan, which I identify with like ever since kind of Hawaii. But I've had people tell me, "Oh, that's a
Raj, welcome.
Well, okay, I guess so.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks everybody for joining. It's awesome to have a full house.
Yeah.
SJ, what is BitFiness talking about here in the comments? SJ's and Hex Max's shorty videos are slaying.
I think just so Max is doing a lot of like a combination of stuff. Some of the things he does are, some of his shorts are just his own words, or he does some sci-fi quotes, and then I think he also does quotes from just other influencers like Naval.
It was good, but we lost you.
Yeah, it was good. Right at Naval, it shut out. You're done. You're done, girl. All right. So something that I'm seeing is that we need people to have an avenue of on-ramping instead of just entertaining the existing Hexicans. Like I understand that Hexicans come together and have a good time, but we also need to allow that same, or in my opinion, that same entertainment to be like, hey, come be a part of us and adopt our values.
Yeah, a lot of what I'm thinking and some of the things I'm thinking with other people is definitely outreach to other communities, using interests that, because we have this great little core of like Hexican stream supporters who are very knowledgeable, very outgoing people that will help I think support streams that are reaching out to other communities beyond even just crypto. And so that's a little bit of the goal, and that's also what I'm saying. Like I have, of course, of ideas of new shows, but I think like just to get myself going, I think there's so much that already there that can be intimidating to some people. So if it's just cut down, and I mean including not entertainment focused, like some that'll be primarily educational. Like Coffee's one of his most recent videos on hex interest almost doesn't need any cutting at all. Actually, it's so it could be. I might do some that are very short, just to kind of help try and bring numbers up on other streamers, on other videos that are already great, already perfect,
Yeah, so SJ, you highlighted something that Coffee did recently. That was an article, or was that mainly a video?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Am I back? Okay, good. Sweet. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Did anybody else see that? How Coffee,
My headphones are muting me just out of nowhere. They keep it keeps going mute on for some strange reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it was an article he just wrote on Medium. It's a very simple step-by-step guide on how to buy Hex using MetaMask. So
because lately around Twitter, people are asking like, "Hey, what could I give my absolute noob friend? What sort of ladder to crawl up the information could I give them?" Because often people don't even know where to start with just getting an Ethereum address.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're coming off of the exchanges. They've just been burnt.
Yeah, I still think that Staker app is for people who are no coiners. I still like to promote. I wrote a guide on how to do the same thing, basically via Staker app. And I think it's more for people who are no coiners and maybe a little bit older and not so tech savvy. I feel like that has been the easiest path to get people onboarded, is through that, because it feels like it's just all encompassed right in one app. You don't really have to go anywhere else to get too much done. Yeah. But I know that there's definitely varying opinions on that, because personally myself, in hindsight, I kind of wish I hadn't done as much with Staker app as I did, in terms of staking and some I have a couple of different wallets, but yeah, it just makes it way more complicated when you want to go and claim your Texan token or claim your Pulse Doge or some things like that using the Staker app, the Gnosis wallet. It's there's just extra steps that you have to take to do that. So that would be the downside on getting someone onboarded through Staker.
And I'm sorry, Crypto Coffees, does it talk about Staker or does it stay away? Okay.
Yeah, his is purely just MetaMask and using an exchange. I think he went through Coinbase or Kraken. I forget.
Toby wants to know how, let's see, does anybody have good recipes for goji berries? Typically, I just add that to yogurt. What about you guys?
Yeah, that's the add to anything.
Sprinkle.
I think you can make jam using it's like you replace blueberries with 1:1.5 goji berries. Means if you are going to put 1 part of blueberries, you put 1.5 parts of goji berries. That kind of balances out things. But try it out. Just eat them like berries. Why do you want to complicate things? But yeah, I was in the space with Richard, but I have this problem when talking with Americans, especially. Nothing. I don't understand when they are going to stop talking and when I should interject. So I kind of waited for a long time for my turn to speak. But anyways,
so you just waited the whole time. You didn't talk,
couldn't
right?
ask the main question. Sorry,
what was
I
going to be your
couldn't ask
question?
the main question, that is when pulse chain.
Oh man,
I should have done that.
Now we're never gonna know.
Yeah.
Timber!
Hey guys.
Nice
Sorry, I'm a
background,
bit
Finn.
Hey.
late. Yeah, thanks, man.
Like meta.
It's
Backgrounds on backgrounds.
professionally made. Like my
feel like-
daughter drew the card thing for, like, she drew that thing for hours. Even free-handed
Aw.
the Hex logo and everything. It's pretty cool.
So if y'all look
That
really,
is
really
awesome.
close, you can see all the different little shades of red and blue and green. If you look really
Yeah.
close, it just slightly changes.
Yeah, she's really put a lot of effort into it. I was thinking that maybe we could get into the fridge magnet business or something.
Yeah, fridge magnets.
Yeah.
I know where you can print a lot.
Do they
That
make
gives me-
fridge magnets as well?
Yeah, we've got magnets around here. I highly recommend just if you want to try something out, go to Sticker Mule and do the little die cut magnet cutout, and you can get like 14 for $10, and that way you can just try whatever design you have.
Yeah.
Smart.
Cool. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to pay like some stupid taxes on top of the $14. I think I had to pay taxes on the honey Marcus sent me.
Is it all gone?
Oh, it's completely gone.
That's funny.
It was delicious.
Mine sat kind of sat on the shelf right behind my chair at my house. I
Not
haven't
over
dug
here.
into it enough. That's
No,
so
it's-
funny. You guys are
it's like-
carnivores.
Yeah, it's like sugar cubes. They just disappear into a black hole over here. You just hear a crunching noise, like
Yeah.
like you're close to horses or something. You just hear this. All the kids are going through the sugar cubes.
So
Don't tell.
I have a
BitFiness,
related,
baby. Don't tell BitFiness my kids eat sugar.
He eats them in the form of jelly beans.
I'm never gonna hear the end of it.
Yeah, might as well just go for the jelly beans.
Yeah.
SJ,
So I have a foodie related question, and it also kind of goes with what BitFiness says here about the goji powder. I travel a lot, and one thing that I find that is good on the road, but some issues with it, is I make smoothies, right? I have a little portable blender that I can charge in my car, and I've got protein powder, and that's got like chia and flax meal and I think something else in it. But usually if I'm somewhere where I've got a refrigerator, I'm going to put spinach or some greens in my smoothie. And I'm curious if you all know about or have any recommendations for some kind of, maybe there's like a green powder, like something that's like even just like spinach powder or kale powder or something that's got like, you know, when I'm on the road and I can't have my own like fresh veggies, like how do I get those nutrients? Because I need them.
the
Green
algae.
powder, I suggest spirulina. That's good enough, I guess.
But that's that's spirulina, isn't that like specifically just like
Yeah, that's like
sea?
medicinally potent. Like you can't use it as like a like that big of a replacement. Like there's tons of different green powders. I'm trying to remember one of my favorite ones because it's a bigger leaf mint, like that works really well for being turned into powder. Then I'll do a little look, but yeah, that's a great way to go. And even just like if you can harvest wild edibles, I mean honestly, even at road stops, even like or pick the places on the highway that get little traffic and get a little way away from the road. And yeah, I don't like if I feel like I'm really shy on greens, like the wilds, and I think it's BitFiness, and I like to argue about this one too. But anyway, just another fun little way I think to get to add some greens.
Other substitute The other substitute I would suggest would be a 5-petaled leaf. You know what that is?
5-petal
The
leaf.
Oh,
not exactly.
that green,
Oh,
that kind of green.
So
he's
Kira.
making a he's
5-petal leaf.
making a hip hop reference there.
Yeah, you can eat the leaves. Sure.
Yeah, or
Would that be
like
considered edible?
if you feel
Yeah.
like you're short on micronutrients and stuff, how about a liver steak with
Dude,
mashed
I'm about
potatoes
it.
and a
I love liver.
cream sauce? Because the cow already ate all the good nutrients and stuff.
Yeah, liver's
So
delicious.
you can get it from
Without it.
there. And in particular, like over here, now that we have our first snow and everything is
There you
like
Super beef.
already frozen and a bit kind of like dead or dormant, I'm getting this yearning for organ meats. Really weird.
Nice.
Just the season.
It's a
huh?
good thing Christmas is coming up. We've got this casserole that's traditional Finnish, and it has rice in it, chopped liver, and raisins. Stinks to high heaven when you cook it, but oh my god, it's lovely.
I'm in a casserole mood too. We're back into soup and stew mode too, and that always gives me an extra perk. I really need to look for like a good summer soup from a good stock, because
Yeah.
I think stock.
I've been actually doing some like actual yard stuff. I've got this netting over here. Let me show you guys. I don't know if you can see it because it's a net, but I got these nets that I've been making. They're like pretty big, and I'm gonna make like a pipe out of this, sort of like a tube, if you will, and I've put these
A
around.
series of tubes.
Yeah, kind of like, and I've been wrapping them around the apple trees because a couple of them already made some acquaintances with the local rabbits, motherfuckers.
Ooh.
I've also been setting the dog on the rabbits.
Yeah,
Okay.
rabbit.
What?
Yeah,
They're hurting your trees. They're hurting your trees,
Oh
really?
yeah,
Wow.
they're already.
I got tons of
coming
rabbits.
to-
They don't have. My sheep, when they break out, they go for the trees. They decimate the trees.
What do they do
Yeah.
to the tree? They just eat everything that they can.
They
Yeah,
eat the entire thing, or
everything, bark
just
and
the,
all.
And they'll
or
get
the
on their
bark.
hind legs.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, and they just damage it just by messing with it too. Like even if even a good like 5-year-old tree that's a few inches thick in diameter,
Yeah.
they'll destroy. Like they have to be bigger than a softball.
they have to be really
bigger
big.
than a softball before they're
Yeah,
before
but
they're really big.
but if a rabbit goes all around the trunk, then it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go around it, even a small band gone, and it's toast. And so the sheep will do that just by rubbing on it, especially because the rams have got some big horns, curl and a half, and so they
Yeah,
they're
assholes.
assholes.
So
And you got
I
the
had a
Icelandic
fork-
ones.
Yeah.
I watched this
Icelandic.
video about
for
about getting rid of flies on a piece of property, and this guy had this little like happy cow mobile is what he called it, and so it was just like this 2x4 structure that had some extra water and some broom ends or something, so that the cows would go and rub up against that. I thought that was pretty cool. So like the cows always knew when it was almost like a chicken tractor. The cows always knew this was the station to go to feel better. That was pretty neat.
Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
yeah,
idea.
that's a
I've
great
kept
idea.
mine somewhat wild. Like they're totally. We don't give them anything. They get some hay that's been not sprayed or anything. It's just wild hay. But and other than that, they're just completely 100% organic, grass fed. Like do their thing. So I keep them fenced usually, but that's it. And then
So you
but
got
I need.
goats. That's
Well, they're
that.
triple purpose, and I've been trying to become. They like to be because they're a heritage sheep. They really like. They're not really into people at all.
They're
So I mean, they're
uppity,
not friendly. But I need to
uppity
make.
sheep.
They are like they're so funny. They got their own personalities
Yeah.
and everything. But I need to make friends with at least one ewe, so that I can get milk. I don't need a lot of dairy, but I would love to at least have one that I could milk.
That's fine.
Did y'all
You
have?
should you should build one of those sorting stations where every animal has to walk past the gate, and if it's a male, you just let it go, and if it's a female, you just milk it first, and then you let it go.
Yeah.
They learn to go through that really fast,
Hmm.
and that way they can't kick you, and they don't have an option of not being milked.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see is one of the HSIs to be used to get Torrin some more sheep, because his herd is sad and
Not
small,
yet.
and it needs to be bigger.
Yeah, I think I would
More
love to go
use,
to 40 or 50 eventually, and but it
dude.
would do. I would not do a
500.
climate
Why
for
not?
that. Yeah, and like the
Fucking
same thing.
500.
No, I'm good with that.
But who's
Maybe if
gonna eat 500 goats?
are you kidding me? Like the one I had one restaurant downtown, and they wanted so much lamb that I would have had to have gone to at least 40 or 50 just to supply that one restaurant. Continually. It's actually
Nice. So what's wrong with
yeah, that's
500
organic.
lambs?
We couldn't settle on a price, otherwise I would have just done it. I would have bought them, but they at the time still organic meat wasn't bringing as much. This was 10 years ago, so it was a little different. I think in the right areas now, there's more restaurants that specifically serve organic around us. So I don't think I would have as much of an issue, but it would still be a business where it wasn't. It could do good, or it could or you could get wrecked. So
Oh, regarding organic, one thing that caught my attention this week was the UN looks like it's ramping up its policy on vaccinating farm animals. So they're gonna ramp it up so that all the dairy cows and all the meat producing animals should be vaccinated by the end of
with
next year.
mRNA.
Not in like all over the world. So
Yeah, but and they want to
so
put mRNA in like all of our food. So like
yeah,
even if you're
yeah.
you
So
can't avoid it.
even if you didn't take the vax, it's gonna be really difficult to not get exposed to the protein.
Thanks, been like the one topic I don't even want to think about. We go there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's intense. It's not a good. Not
So
good.
what's it gonna be
Better
like?
off being
Freaking meat rabbits and illegal chickens or something?
That's why I
Underground
stopped
chicken
eating
business.
rabbit. I wanted to make sure like it's really easy to ruin your rabbit population or squirrels. Like if you want to use them for food, you got to be careful.
Yeah, but I don't
Not
mean
bad.
like wild rabbits, but if I had like a breed of rabbits that I could keep with the chickens. Because the
Yeah,
rabbits could be in these nest boxes higher up from the ground, and the chickens could run underneath the rabbits, and they would.
Yeah, I think it's a great way for
Yeah.
small space. Like, if you need to combine, like if you can't have too many chickens, if you're in an area, and you really want to do that, like pack things in and have mutual beneficial, beneficial relationships in a small area. Like, and if you can't have roosters or whatever, rabbits, kind of spreading out like that can really help. A lot of people that I know that are trying to kind of go homestead level, and they just fight with rabbits over and over, and most of them abandon them and just stick with chickens. Like, I'm gonna get some rabbits again.
And they're difficult to sell.
Sell.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into selling them, but I just know they can be a major.
No, but if you don't eat them and they're difficult to sell, it doesn't have
you're
too
better
many
off,
points for anybody to even keep them.
Yeah, because you can sell chicken meat a lot easier than you can sell rabbit.
Yeah.
And they multiply really fast. I mean, that is the one, I think, the one big issue.
That's a positive, yeah.
And in Finland, I'd probably be really into it for the keeping the hide for fur if it was back in 1800s. But like at this point, I'm trying to make things more efficient, so I can scale a little bit without, like you said, if you're doing it right, 40 can be as much work as 4.
So and 140 is exactly the same amount as 40. It's just a bigger shovel for the food.
And the poop.
Basically like a longer movement when you throw the seeds. That's it.
Yeah.
Just a few more. Any animals that give you any hardship that you need to help them deliver or whatever, they get a mark on their back with some spray paint, and they're the first ones to go on the plate when the meat truck comes. And all of a sudden you have a huge herd of animals where nobody needs any taking care of, because the ones that had trouble, they've already become lunch.
Yep.
So you don't like... I just watched the documentary again that I shared with you about mob crazy, what's the word?
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, culling,
mob breeding.
Breeding. Well, actually, it's mostly culling, but I was thinking about mob breeding, and that is like an awesome way to grow your herd and create like an optimal herd without by the methods of just minimizing animal suffering in the herd in general. Like overall suffering is less because you always choose the ones that need help, and you choose the ones who cannot have calves on their own or whatever. Like the guy said, that bad luck happens to everybody, but it's terribly hereditary. So bad luck runs in the family. So you can just eat it out of the herd.
Yep.
Eat it out of the herd.
Yeah. So so if some animal needs deworming, you deworm the animal, but you also make a note that the animal has had to be dewormed. So when it comes time to select the worst 8, you can check your list, and you're like, we're selecting the one that had to be dewormed.
Kind of like Santa's list.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So SJ, tell us what's the update on the shuttle, the Hex shuttle?
Ooh, I have a couple really great pieces of news. So I've been out of town, so I haven't really been able to physically do much with it. But my friend whose land it's on currently, right before I left, I bought a brand new battery for it. And I didn't have time myself, but I was like, hey, if you happen to like have a minute to do this while I'm gone, please, like, see if it starts. So he put the new battery in and it turned over. So it started. So that's a plus. basically when I get back, which hopefully is going to be like Sunday or Monday, my plan is to get a mechanic, get Chris Side Effects back out there and start it up, and then figure out if, like, because it's been sitting for 4 years, find out if anything with the transmission fluid or like any of the fluids and levels and things like that need to get taken care of. I'm hoping none of it is bad. So, because when they left it, I learned, I actually spoke to the person who bought it. So it was a joint kind of purchase between two friends of mine who are no longer together. And I know them both separately, right? So the woman who it was her shuttle to begin with. She and I had a conversation yesterday finally, and I found out the purchase price, because it's not purchased yet. Like, I want to make sure that it's something that I can actually, it's got good bones before I go ahead and seal the deal in that way. Found out that the AC, she spent a few grand fixing. There's two ACs, right? There's like the AC in the front that, just for when you're driving. And then this was a huge selling point for me, is that in the back of it, there's a whole separate AC system. And that's like huge because I get hot real quick. So she said that she did a bunch of work they did a bunch of work rewiring it. And why it ended up just sitting there, so I kind of learned the story, is that she had been using it for a massage studio. And this was like in the height of summer and in the middle of COVID. And that thing, sorry, words. Even though she had done all this work on the AC system, it ended up, it died on her. The back one did, and then the front one did. And she had someone come out and like take a look at it, and they were going to get a part for it. And then that just fell through. And so since she like didn't have the money or the time to like get it fixed on her own, it just sat. And aside from the AC not working, with what was going on at the time, people didn't want to be in a small space, like kind of confined that way. So it just kind of ended up being, something that she had dreamed of, and then it just kind of sat there. So it's it's good and bad news. Like, at least I know now why it was just sitting there not running. I have a feeling that it's going to take to get the AC going is like a recharge. I've had to do that in cars before, so I'm hoping it's just like it either needs more Freon, or we can just like charge it back up and get the AC working. Luckily, it's not hot right now, so it's not not the biggest issue. But yeah, the first thing when I get back is just to find out if it can get moving, like actually like away from where it is right now. But that's it.
Awesome.
And I've had people reach out to me. I'm kind of talking with a few different people who have skills and ideas, and so awesome that Paul just let me know that he might be able to get some parts for us on things. So as soon as I know what parts I need, I'll definitely let you know, Paul. I appreciate that a ton. And yeah, still looking. I had another idea actually in terms of the community aspect of it, because originally I was thinking, well, it'd be great to just highlight Hexicans, people who are already Hexicans around around the US that have these skills and talents and like want to promote their small businesses. And then now I don't know, because of course this is going to be like totally a step-by-step thing, and like we're just going to kind of go along with it as it happens. But I had this other idea. Wouldn't it be cool if maybe there was, let's say that there's something that I can't find someone who's within our community to do. Well, what I would want to do is then find someone who may be interested in crypto in general and onboard them into Hex via like, hey, like maybe like I'll pay you in part with setting up a Hex wallet for you, and then also in part via some kind of, skill or trade. So that was just like another like kind of idea that came to my mind, because I want it to be more of a, getting people into the community, as well as highlighting our current community members. But of course, like, obviously one of our biggest missions together as a community is to get more people into the community. So that's just another thought I had.
Yeah. As you have these interactions with people, you'll be able to introduce Hex to them. I imagine you'll find yourself in all sorts of situations where people, because you're already going so far, people are going to wonder, what is it that you're doing? What are you promoting? What are you a part of? And then they'll want to be a part of it as well.
Yep.
I mean, that's Richard Hart's outrage marketing is, hey, I have this item. Don't you wish you had it? You saw it at a different place, and I have it. So what do I have? What else do I have that you don't have? Well, SJ, you're roaming around in a van, and it's decorated with this hex stuff. Maybe you're decorated with this hex stuff as well. People are going to want to know, like, how do you live your life? And it's amazing that that we find ourselves in this situation where like highways connect everything, and then you love living on the road, you love living in small little places, you want to go out and travel and be vocal with everybody, make friendships. That's awesome. So let's see, what were the changes that you were talking about? Like, you were going to update your stuff, or did that just happen? Was that the announcement with the timestamps? No.
No. That's all. That's actually all RH Max. He went out of his way to get that done, and that's just timestamps for the already existing audio. I think it's actually going to work out fine, because from what I remember, the QR code you put on there goes to the SciVive playlist. Is that right?
It goes straight to the intro in the playlist. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hoping what will happen is that I'm just going to add the new audio to that current playlist.
Okay. So
hopefully it'll all just be there. I'll keep the old ones on there. I was talking to someone else in the community about that, and they said, I was thinking at first to delete them, because I was like, well, it's old audio and it's not that great, but they said I might want to keep them up there for the YouTube, like the algorithm and like the views and stuff like that, and hours. So I'll kind of check that out as I go. But I've been really stressed out about it, because I'm doing this on my own. Like, I don't have a boss, like Richard's not like telling me like when to finish anything or any of that. So I've put a deadline on myself to have something done by Christmas. So what I think I'll be able to do is release the new audio as well as the new chapters, like the new text edited version of SciVive, like piece by piece. So that way I'm not like, oh, I have to have the whole thing done by Christmas. I'm just gonna make sure to be able to at least put the intro out and have that done with the audio and have it completely edited by then, because that's a little less of a crazy thing to to bite off. This has been such a long, like, drawn out project, and again, mostly my own fault, because I'm not good at setting my own schedule and like making sure that I'm doing something every day on it. But I'm much more focused on it now, and especially because I miss this. I miss doing my own content. I'm really excited about the Hex shuttle, and that's kind of lit a fire under my own butt to, like, get SciVive done. I love Richard. I love SciVive. I love all that content, but I'm definitely feeling a little burnout with like this has been what I've worked on for the last year, either narrating it or editing it or whatever. Like, it's pretty much all I've spent my like work productive time doing, outside of some other audio stuff that I do. But yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's coming, is like, it's going to be a very well formatted, very much flowing. I in fact, right now I'm working on going through the whole text. It's like 485 pages, I think, is what the final count is. And I've gone through, yesterday I went through and I highlighted the word stuff, so that I could go through, and every time he says stuff, I either change it so that it is whatever stuff he's actually talking about, and then I started doing thing this morning.
Did you take out the dudes?
Yeah, I missed that.
No, it's like, yeah, it's like all the kindness and knows.
Every time he's in a context, then he'll say stuff, and that stuff. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of his speech patterns that I'm basically going through and changing it so that it makes the reading flow better, and you understand what thing or things he's talking about. and yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm like halfway done with that. There were like I put thing in the search, and I think it was like something like 600 instances of
Of
just
the
the word thing, and so now I've got it
How
down to like
many-
370.
How many instances of stuff did you find? Do you remember?
It was like 200. It actually wasn't as bad as thing. Stuff was like 200, 250, something like that. And I got it down to 16. There's only
Wow.
16 times
Oh.
the word stuff is in that book now.
Okay.
So there you
took
go.
a-
If you want
you-
your stuff
you-
reduced,
you
to
took
go
a-
to
yeah.
SJ.
if you want your stuff edited, SJ is your lady.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So any
He's-
chance we can get,
She edited
do
the
I've
thing
been
out of
editing
that stuff.
I edit things and stuff.
Yeah.
Usually.
so all Hexicans out there, any chance you can get to help SJ pollinate the rest of the world, please do it.
Yay! Thank you.
I wish I could if my English was much better. But speaking of which, like asking for help, there is a specific website. It's called Hex Community Jobs. So it's like the Upwork or
Mhm.
Fiverr exclusively for Hex community members. Actually, not Hex community members, but just so that we can distribute jobs or whatever work amongst the Hex community. But it really didn't take off. It's been there. There are no postings there. If you want to use it, it's free. Just post kind of yeah, I need help just editing this much part. I'll give you 100 hex for it, or whatever kind of. It should be like, maybe we can promote that website and spread the word. Now I have to like stop using this kind of words like, oh, we are trying to spread the word, we are trying to get people into our community, because we are already being called a cult. Oh, but by the way, that video, I followed that guy from earlier, like from his gaming videos. So it's well done. Like, and I would like give a shout out to A-Bit Hex. Like, his video has been used in it, so it's amazing. But how? Like, I feel like I was the one who went on stream Discourse Syndicate. I think, like, I know I was like warning, like, see, these are some of the tactics cults use to get people into cults, and now we are being called a cult. The whole world is upside down. Like, I don't know. Which I have also come across a kind of a very weird theory, or some kind of it's not yet an official cult, but there is a book called The Voyagers by Ashayana Dean. So she
Wagers?
Voyagers, Voyager, like the so
Like
it's
going on a
kind of a
voyage.
mix of
Exchange. Oh,
angels and extraterrestrials. Like, oh, she has a kind of program for meditation, so that part is good. But like, for a placebo to work, it has to be having a kind of a backstory to it, and the backstory is kind of amazing. Like, she has, so if you are into that kind of stuff, like, look into it. But if you can, just if you do meditate, then those exercises are good as well. And I lost track, but Hex is definitely not a cult yet. So, I'm working I'm looking into it.
we haven't built the museum yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
We
in the
do.
next circle of shame.
Don't we
All
have
right.
to have uniforms what's the Hex cult uniform gonna be? We all get
Space
Gucci.
suits.
Yeah,
Space
yeah.
suits.
And do we even need pockets?
I like that.
Not if you can remember your
Our
Because all of our money is in the future. What the fuck are we gonna do with pockets now? So we can have overalls that have like a marked place for the pockets later. That nobody has the pockets. Because all
Duraj,
the
will
money
you?
is in the future.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
But you
So,
can have the
okay,
pockets
all right.
later
So, like,
once you get to the future. But future never comes. I blew my kid's mind when he was like 5. I was like, it's never coming. It's always just now. Even tomorrow, when you think about it, it's gonna be now, tomorrow, but that's the future now. And he's like, dude, I just want to go to sleep.
so there are those pockets, those fake pockets, and then they have like something fake coming out of them that are sewn into the top of it right there.
The worst.
Yeah.
So we could have our fake wallets, in our back pocket.
Yeah, or something like the connecting wire from the treasure just poking out of the pocket.
Have you seen the new treasures that are a screen that light up?
No, I
So
think it's a ledger.
okay. A ledger that looks like a miniature Kindle.
Yeah,
So
it had
it's like a white
Bluetooth.
screen, black
It had
letters.
Bluetooth. It had an internal battery.
Wow.
All sorts of crap that makes me not want to
It
use it.
scares the fuck out of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get a thing like that. No.
They all look like a joke. Like the treasure, even the expensive one, just feels like a key fob with a little screen on it. Like they don't.
No,
like
but treasure is fine. It doesn't have so many. Ledger has like a touch screen. It has an internal battery. It has Bluetooth in it, so like everybody's gonna be able to find it. Like it's so bad. The new one, and it cost like $200 or something.
Yeah. I think they did that so that you can see your NFT on the hardware wallet itself. But
Fuck those guys, man. Nobody's gonna want to see them. Once the last crunch comes in, nobody's gonna want to see the NFTs. Nobody's gonna want to have anything. Yeah, look at my. That's $7 million, Mom. Fuck you. And Mom's like, was that his Tamagotchi? I didn't see all of it, but it looks very well fed. Yeah.
Duraj, I would enjoy you posting that meditation related stuff to the Telegram chat, because I definitely would take a look at that. And then also something that we could think about is formulating a Hex job for one of the HSIs coming out, and say like, hey, this is payday that you would receive this HSI stake if you do this for Hex Foodies or whichever Hexican we're wanting to sponsor.
That's cool.
That's really
if y'all can think
When
about
do we
anything.
have the sheet? I should look
That
at it.
way we sort of like weave it back into our community. What would you say, SJ?
It's just a dumb question because I should know this or at least look at the sheet. But when does the first one come out?
Spring sometime.
Okay. Sweet.
So it's spring and fall of every year from now on.
Excellent.
Cool.
Oh no, rain's coming. I gotta go move my firewood.
Oh man.
I mean it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I gotta go and quickly
totally-
choke the kids to bed. They're fighting still. It's like we're starting preteen hell over here, guys.
Oh no.
I know how it's gonna be for the next 5 years.
All right, so who wants to sign us out?
SJ can do it. She's the perkiest one of us.
Wow. How do I even do that? Who's like Hex Foodies out?
Yeah, that's
No, wait a minute.
What, Daraj?
I just remembered there was this like a request from Hex on Air, like, oh, I wish I was in Zanzibar, Zanzibar, Zanzibar. I wish I was in Zanzibar, my fair Hexicans.